Hi, welcome. So it's been 1.5 weeks since I went into week 7 of the presence process, and it's been a little over a week since I started the low-calorie diet. I believe as a result of the presence process being able to take this step again. And I've lost 11.5 pounds, and I have learned a lot in the last week that I'd like to share. It's related to where I am right now. It's not specifically about taking you through the process, week 1 and so on. It's just where I am now, and where I am now is toward the end of week 8. And week 8 is I forgive myself. Week 8 is I forgive myself. And it's so interesting that I'm doing week 8 and at the same time going on a low-calorie diet where food has been my comfort and my way of comforting and controlling situations. And I go into a panic when I don't get enough food or I can't overeat sometimes. So it's been very interesting just allowing that and seeing that I've already released a tremendous amount of emotional charge. Also, since I did my last recordings, since I did the first recordings, I went down to Encinitas and had the opportunity to experience the transformational breath work that Judith Kravitz created, and she was the one there teaching it. It was a 2-hour introduction, and we did about 45 minutes of breathing, and it was very powerful. And I went onto Michael Brown's website to see, is this the kind of breathing I need to be doing during the presence process? And the answer is no. It's something to do in addition to or as adjunct, and the way he talks about it is the presence process breathing and transformational breath work, they're brothers and sisters. So it's related and yet not to use during the presence process. So in the presence process, reading, it's been a slow go for me this week. It's been a lot of feeling, a lot of intensity, and not that kind of under the water or under, don't know what's going on kind of feeling like it was in the first 6 weeks, but more of a constant awareness. And then the awareness it hasn't all been bad. There's been some amazing experiences of bliss and being really connected and being very present. And then there's been some experiences of emotion that would come and go. And then there have been also experiences of just being stuck. And in fact, today was kind of like a stuck day. But I wanted to share this because it's Labor Day and I have some time, and I want to not get this out here. So I have some notes here that I'm going to be referring to from time to time to make sure I cover all the things that I wanted to tell you. So I want to talk about a couple of experiences that I had this week, and the thing about forgiving myself, I forgive myself. One of the biggest things that I feel that I've been aware of forgiving myself for over the week is forgiving myself for not taking care of myself. And in week 1, he talks about how we take care of ourselves the way we were taken care of. My mother had 4 children in 5 years, and she was a child that wasn't taken care of. So I was in the middle, and I definitely did not feel taken care of. I was born about 14 months after my sister, and my sister started torturing me as soon as she could walk. And there's this funny story my mother tells about how she would she came once. I was screaming in the playpen, and there was a big bite mark on my stomach, and my sister had climbed into the playpen and bitten me, and I was a baby, and I just so I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel taken care of. And so that just kind of started from the get-go. And then, the adorableness of me passing out, from drinking milk in my high chair followed that. So I found food as a drug, or as a way to sedate myself and feel safe long before I could even talk. So some of the feelings that came up this week were all around that, forgiving myself for not taking care of myself. And the self that didn't feel taken care of is very, very young. So I was experiencing feelings, and I was just letting them go. I had an appointment with Dr. Ziemba. She did some network chiropractic on me and some deep tissue massage. And there was a tremendous amount of releasing and emotion. And at the end of it, I said, I want to eat a cake. And I didn't want to go get a cake, but the feeling was, oh, please, it hurts so bad. Give me a cake and let me eat the whole thing. So that happened this week. And also I went to the free clinic in LA about my knee, the knee that has no cartilage, and I injured it 10 months ago, and it just gotten worse and worse and worse. So having the feeling that I was going to be able to have this taken care of in some way, I just felt a tremendous amount of gratitude and relief. And as I was driving home, I was having a lot of emotion. And so I was just letting the emotion come, as I've been doing throughout the entire presence process. If I feel some kind of tension in my body, and the emotion comes, and then I just will let it express fully. And so I was crying, and I was lots and lots of tears. I had my sunglasses on, and I'm thinking, please, no one look at me, as I was driving on the freeway. But then what started to happen, which was fascinating, is as I came toward an area in my drive that was near one of my favorite binge places, which happens to be Togo sandwiches, right before I got there, Togo sandwiches popped into my head. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And I thought, well, what's underneath that? And then I found underneath that, all of this emotion came again. Even more emotion came. And then cupcakes popped into my head. And then what's underneath that? More emotion. Then I was driving by a pizza place. Just the word pizza. Oh, pizza. I thought about my favorite pizzas. I thought about how would I get pizza? And then again, the emotion. It's so interesting because now I'm choosing to go, hey, what's the emotion there? Because allowing the emotion feels very natural and comfortable to me now, at this point in the presence process, because I've been expressing these emotions since the get-go. And so it was a very interesting